Hey, welcome back, fellow creators. Okay, listen, all cards on the table. I am not here in today's video to tell you why you should jump on TikTok. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're probably very well familiar with how much of a sleeping giant TikTok is when it comes to what's going to be possible in the latter half of 2021 when it comes to businesses on the platform. What I want to touch upon in today's video is I want to map out and walk you through the way that I work with businesses, brands, coaches, realtors that are looking to leverage TikTok in a meaningful way. I want to talk about specific best practices, pitfalls to avoid, and give you real examples of businesses that are killing the TikTok game and absolutely crushing it, generating multiple six figures through organic sales on the app. So if that's the kind of information that you want to stick around in here, leave a like down below and let's jump right in. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about in today's video is to hire a human to host the handle. One of the primary ways in which TikTok is vastly different from a platform like Instagram, case in point, is the emphasis that it has on really developing and fostering the creator audience relationship. Because content is so concentrated on TikTok, you've got 15 to 3 minutes maximum to tell a story or get a point across. You have to hook people with the human factor. There has to be some level of authenticity there, and they have to be connecting with a human behind the handle, as I like to say, someone on the other end of the screen. This is the way we work with all of our clients, having one primary face that is the personality for the brand or the business. Nike did this with a gentleman named Steve when they were just starting out. You've got publication companies like the Washington Post who hired Dave Jorgensen to basically be the Washington Post on TikTok. It works because there's a sense of familiarity there. Just like with any creator, if you choose to do a voiceover or you make use of the native effects that TikTok offers in-app, people know who's behind it. People know who is speaking. It's also proven as well that people are more willing to take action, such as purchasing a product or signing up to some sort of subscription, when that call to action actually comes from someone, a person that they trust, versus some omnious brand telling them to do this, for example. All right, the second thing I want to touch upon is to have variety with video structures. Now, as you're well familiar, the sky's the limit with all the different ways you can package your ideas when it comes to TikTok, but there are a few tested and proven video structures that time and time again always achieve high levels of virality, and I want to share 5 of these with you today that I think you should be cycling through. The first structure is what I've coined the window into a consultation structure, and I found that this is one of the best ways for you to convey information, deliver facts to people in a very digestible way versus looking directly at the camera and listing off a bunch of fun facts. There's kind of a barrier there. It often comes off as too teachy and preachy, and people aren't as willing to hear you out on your thoughts. The way the window into a consultation structure works is you role playing with yourself. So maybe you'll play yourself as the real estate noob who's asking a question about something that's not clear to you. And then you also play yourself as the realtor or the expert in the space, and you're having this dialogue back and forth as you talk about a common pain point or you get some sort of information across. And people, the viewer, are looking through this window, so to speak, which really is basically their screen, at the both of you having this conversation. It's a camera cut with one to another, back and forth, and it's a very passive and entertaining way to learn. The second video structure is to highlight a story or some kind of customer experience. This really helps strongly with building trajectory for the video, which is going to increase watch time, which is something we'll talk about momentarily. One of the realtors that I've worked with previously, we kind of coined the concept, the story behind the sale, and this was kind of a reoccurring theme on their profile, where they would highlight, the emotional value that someone had with their home when they were leaving, and that was kind of a way for them to share a story. And it was really emotional at times, and it was just a style of content that people could relate to. One of our TikTok Creator Pro students, actually, who owns an online supplements retail company, had a video that got over 10 million views simply by talking about a customer experience. And what he was doing in the video was unpacking the return box and using the voiceover feature to share that particular customer's experience. The third video structure is to speak to specific situations. We've talked about this in interviews on this channel as the concept of specificity. Specificity is you, in the first few seconds of your video, targeting with your words a very specific group of people or someone's particular situation, right? Are they dealing with a toxic relationship? Are they an acne-prone teen dealing with breakouts on their face? If that's the case, well, then why not create a series of videos, if you're a skincare brand, for example, of natural remedies to help them. You want your profile to be treated and looked at as this resource for people. Next, we have time lapses. Time lapses are one of my personal favorite styles of content to see on TikTok, and it works great for providing fast, quick-paced entertainment while also providing the perfect visuals for you to add something like a voiceover in post-production or using the effects natively within TikTok. In fact, one of my previous coaching students at Got That Pressure on TikTok, he's a small business owner, he would do this all the time with pressure washing projects, and he had multiple viral videos, over 20 million views, simply by showing the satisfying nature of him pressure washing up and down people's driveways. And that was all time-lapsed content. Next, we have the concept of a video series. A video series is something that's almost become mandatory for the clients that I work with, simply because of how effective and important I really do believe it is in establishing a reoccurring staple on your profile that people can keep tabs on. We're not chasing the next one-hit wonder, the next video over 1 million views. There's some consistency and there's an idea that makes a regular appearance on your grid. And it's a great incentive for people to keep tabs on you, because if video 6 does well or video 1 does well, there's a reason why people actually want to see the end of this open loop that's been created. So just to give you some examples of some video title or video series titles that some of our students have come up with: Design Decisions, Mental Momentum, Famous Fortunes. As you can tell, we like to use alliteration. There's also a real estate client that I work with, and we created a series called Let's Get Real. So really the sky's the limit. I would highly recommend titling it. I'm not talking about creating a part 1 or a part 2 or a 24-hour challenge, something that is a reoccurring theme or almost an episode that is something you output on a regular basis. All right, before we continue on to the next point, I just want to share a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, ClearCo. Yes, we have a sponsor today. ClearCo is an incredible brand that I've recently partnered with, and they specifically help brands and businesses get access to instant funding. Here on this channel, we talk a lot about TikTok as being this incredible avenue for creating awareness for your brilliant ideas and products. And that's great for distribution, but if you're a budding company starting from scratch, it's really hard to build from the ground up alone without funding. You need to hire a team, you need marketing, you need access to capital, and ClearCo provides a really frictionless process where in less than a minute, you can go ahead and input your information and you can find how much funding you actually qualify for. ClearCo is backed by a lot of notable investors and serial entrepreneurs, and what's really special about them is that they do not take equity in your business, meaning you still maintain 100% control and ownership. The ball is completely in your court. What they do have is a pay-as-you-grow system where you repay them a percentage of your sales as you continue to scale. ClearCo is currently the world's largest e-commerce investor. So if you're interested in having any level of access to funding for your business, you can check the link in the description box down below. And thank you, ClearCo, so much for sponsoring today's video. All right, the third thing I want to talk about if you are a business leveraging TikTok is to leverage TikTok culture. Now, this sounds a little bit cliche, but I believe it's massively overlooked. I see so many brands and businesses that jump on TikTok and start hard pitching in the very first videos. Click a link in my bio to sign up for this or whatever that avenue of redirection looks like. I would strongly encourage you to keep in mind that you need to relax with your audience. TikTok is weird in so many interesting facets. You can't just passively upload content and then close your eyes, cross your fingers, and hope it does well like we kind of do on Instagram. On TikTok, you need to tap into the culture on the platform and the ecosystem of all the trending songs, the challenges, the hashtags, or better yet, create your own. In fact, we saw the cosmetics company e.l.f. do this last October when they created their own original song, Eyes, Lips, Face, which debuted specifically on TikTok and saw massive adoption on the platform and actually really jacked sales for that company in that quarter from the platform, which is super powerful. Now, you don't have to leverage just hashtags or just songs or just challenges. It should be a balance between all of these. In fact, I think if you were to output 5 to 6 videos per week on TikTok, which I think is a fairly solid output frequency for a business on the platform, then I would have at least half of those, or at least a minimum of a third of those, utilize some sort of trending audio in the background or make use of some popular hashtag that can be sourced from TikTok's discovery page. As best you can, try to find something that's relevant to the video or find music that actually fits the vibe of the themes that you're talking about. You don't want, heavy death rep metal guitar playing while you showcase your baby-proof cabinet locks. Actually, something like that could be very funny. I would recommend checking out the account wonderlife.4u. They're an incredible e-commerce brand that actually does over $200,000 a month in sales through TikTok, and they've got a really good system and are very creative, honestly, in finding music that actually fits the video. The fourth tip for businesses on TikTok is to avoid logos and labels in your content. This is really a rookie mistake. I see it all the time on TikTok. This is something that we've tested. We've done studies on this. We've done polls details in our Let's Talk TikTok Facebook group, which is our public community. You're free to join in the description down below. And we found that people are simply just less likely to engage with content that has a 2-minute logo in the very beginning or even a watermark on videos. It just doesn't feel native and authentic to the app. So in general, try to format your videos natively for TikTok, fit the TikTok aspect ratio, avoid the thematic black bars at the top and bottom. Don't be uploading square videos. Those really do not go over well in the professional business landscape. They work well for the meme and gaming niches, but on TikTok, don't put end cards or signatures at the end of your video because let's face it, on the app, especially as we're trying to increase the watch time on videos, every single second counts. Number 5 is to prompt user engagement. Most of you watching this are probably already somewhat familiar with the main metrics that the algorithm looks at as far as gauging the success of a video on TikTok. Mainly the watch time, how long users are actually retained through hopefully the full duration of your video. Number 2 are the profile views, how many of your viewers actually come to your profile and check you out. And then number 3, the shares. How many of your followers are actually tagging people in the comment section, sharing your video, duetting it, and taking those actions of distributing it themselves. I would encourage you as well, please get your audience involved in the comment section, because here's the strategy there. If you can get people reading and writing comments, the video is looping in the background, and that indirectly increases the total playtime. That's something that not a lot of people realize, and that's why you often see these high engagement videos correlating to high watch time as well. So maybe you say something like, hey, tag a friend that's also interested in hot and spicy teriyaki chicken and rice, because you're a food company and that's a recipe you're putting together in a video. You can certainly use text bubbles to ask questions. You can do this verbally as well. You can use a voiceover. There was actually a leather company that I worked with on TikTok a while ago, and this was their idea, not mine. I have to give them credit for this. But they came up with a system where every single video they would select a comment, someone's username, and they would write that on a I don't have my whiteboard behind me, but they would write it on a whiteboard in their warehouse. And it gave the followers and the viewers, a sense of having a stake in the profile. They might actually be featured in the next video, and it was a great incentive to comment. I would also encourage you as well, take this as an aggressive suggestion, use the reply to comments feature where you can reply with a video to someone's comment, make use of all the replies in your Q&A thread, which is that little section where people can leave questions or inquiries on your profile, and use those user-generated suggestions as themes for your video, because when people see you're willing to respond to them, not just with a little text reply, but with an actual standalone video, they're more inclined to engage with your profile in the future. And that cycle, that hamster wheel of engagement, is what we're looking to build in these early stages of your business on TikTok. Moving on to number 6, build TikTok SEO. SEO, as many of you know in the business landscape, stands for search engine optimization, and TikTok is not a search engine, at least not yet. There's not the same level of exploration on TikTok as there is on Instagram, YouTube, or Google, but there are some things that you can do with keywords and hashtags and text bubbles that can help people find your content better. So here are a few action steps. First of all, create a customized hashtag, something that's not already established on the platform. This can be your business name, a phrase or mantra that represents your perspective of how you do business. This is something we do with every single one of our clients, and the goal here is to get 1 million video views associated with this tag, either from your own content or from other people using that hashtag in their own videos. Once that hashtag can get 1 million views, it's actually going to start ranking on TikTok's discovery page when people search for keywords or terms in your niche or industry. It's going to rank alongside those results that appear. And I want to note as well, please be aware of how much of your fan base or your audience is actually making use of your hashtag, or if there's a challenge that develops around it. Well, jump on that opportunity and push it to your fan base. One of the masterful examples of this on TikTok was exactly how Ocean Spray handled Dogface's viral video. The viral video drinking the cranberry juice, skating down next to the highway. Well, Ocean Spray launched multiple hashtags around that idea, and they had record all-time sales in June and July of last year because, well, Ocean Spray, that became the Kool-Aid of TikTok. Secondly, I would highly encourage you to leverage text bubbles for ranking specific unique keywords. What most people don't realize is that TikTok has an incredibly smart AI system that is scanning and analyzing all different aspects of your video. It's looking at the audio, it's looking at the language you speak, it's looking at the text bubbles and the keywords that you're using there. We've had students that have talked about very specific, diseases that people are not aware of, and if you input that disease in the discovery search box on TikTok, it'll actually pull up their video because they talked about it in the text bubbles that they put in the video. Now, you cannot get the same effect if you're editing the text or the text bubbles, the graphics, the subtitles into your video in post-production. If you're doing it outside of TikTok, it's just not gonna have the same effect, and you can't actually you leverage that data to help rank if you're talking about something very, very specific. So keep that in mind. Third, make sure that your bio or your profile name, not your handle, not your @ username, your bio or your profile name have relevant keywords to your industry. When people search on TikTok, for example, if I pull up the app and I start searching something like mental health, for example, TikTok is gonna search usernames first, profile names second, and bios third, in that order. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have relevant keywords to your niche or your industry so that you actually do come up when people are searching for those topics. All right, so for the Q&A portion, question number 1 is, should I select a creator or a business account? So for those of you not familiar with these two options, when you're first getting started on TikTok and you're setting up a brand new profile, you have the option to upgrade to a business or a creator account. They each come with their own pros and cons. The business account, in my opinion, is only worth it if you're gonna go down the pay-to-play route on TikTok and you wanna leverage the ads platform, you wanna pay to actually promote your content to viewers versus organic distribution. The business account also gives you the ability to have a clickable link in your bio from day one, which the creator account does not. You have to wait until you have 1,000 followers in order to get access to that feature. The creator account also gives you a lot of additional engagement tools and features like the Q&A feature, the live scheduling feature, and access to pretty much any single piece of audio that you want on TikTok. Versus the business account, a lot of the trending songs and sounds are copyrighted and you can't monetize those in your videos or use them if you're a business, and you can have that audio limited up to 50%, which is very, very significant, especially like we talked about when it comes to tapping into and leveraging TikTok culture. My recommendation, and this is the way we work with our clients and students, is to start with first a creator account, and then if you want to run ads or promote videos later on down the road, you can make that transition to a business account. It's very easy to do and there's very little hassle involved in the process. Question number 2 is in a very similar ballpark. I'm a business on TikTok. When should I, or should I even consider running ads for my content on TikTok? My answer is actually pretty straightforward, but I do want to say we're actually going to be having a TikTok ads expert come on this channel for an interview and share some valuable information coming soon. So hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see his insights. But my recommendation is I'm not a huge fan of ads until you've maximized all the organic native exposure that the platform has to offer. And I think that's going to take you a minimum of several months to figure that out and really work through that discovery process of figuring out what the best way is to package your ideas. Now, ads, of course, are guaranteed exposure, but there's a lot of evidence to show that once you start going down and engaging in that pay-to-play route, TikTok begins to reduce the organic exposure of your content. Now, this is not a blanket standard by any means. We do have students in our communities that are successfully leveraging ads on TikTok, but that's kind of later on in the game, and that's my approach. I think I'm an advocate of first mastering the organic TikTok native distribution process, and then if you want some additional exposure or you want some better targeting capabilities, you know what, go ahead and pull the trigger on launching ads. Question number 3, who should have login access to my account? My recommendation is to limit it to simply one individual. Now, very similar to the ads before, this is not a blanket standard, but there is a lot of evidence to show that multiple logins from different devices, especially if they're from different territories logging into the same account, can be a little bit of a monkey wrench in the organic distribution of your content. I find that TikTok starts to flag you as a business. Businesses have social media managers that are always in and out of different profiles, or TikTok suspects that your account is being hijacked, and it's very unlikely that you're going to see a viral video during that period of time while you have all these users that are in and out of your account. So that pretty much concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to keep this very, very straight to the point, cut out any of the fluff. So if there's anything that I can clarify here, I know we did kind of cover a lot in today's conversation. Leave a comment down below if I can fill in any gray areas in your mind. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.